You know what? Just give me till next Friday. I'll have it for you.
Oh, that's funny. I could have sworn I said have it today.
Yeah, I don't have it. Sorry.
Oh, well, all right then. That's good, OJ. Yeah, that hurt? That hurt?
What the hell?
Yeah, it don't feel so good, does it? No, huh? Yeah, that's what happens, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what happens. Where's my money? You gonna give me my money?
Where's the money, Lebowski? You want that money, Lebowski? Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the fucking money, shithead?
It doesn't.
You are now being tuned into the coolest talk radio around. We stretch out to the cosmos and all the way out to the observable universe. Yes, you're listening here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Yes, you're listening here live on this Tuesday night. Yep, we're the only podcast talk radio show that rocks it from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even in Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, let us know what you think. And if the mothership is down there. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to like and follow us on our other social media platforms. You can follow me on my YouTube and TikTok channel, both labeled The Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. And if you miss any episodes here and you want to listen to other previous episodes of my podcast, go along to Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Yeah, we're going to get started in just a couple of seconds, getting a couple things worked out and fixed out. We got a good topic of discussion for you tonight. It involves a little bit about some money. Now, you are tuned in to the most coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. We rock it from here all the way out to the cosmos, and yes, all the way out to the observable universe. Now, without further ado, the man that exhilarates nothing but absolute coolness. Yes, your host, none other than Brent.
I'm really rich. I'm really rich. Billions and billions. Many, many, many millions of dollars. Billions and billions. Many, many, many millions of dollars. Well, I pay a lot of tax. And I made a lot of money in Atlantic City, and I'm very proud of it. Billions and billions. Billions and billions. Many, many, many millions of dollars. Billions and billions.
Yes, hello. Thank you for tuning in here to the coolest of the cool, the Coolly Cool Show. Your host, Brent, kicking it here live on this Tuesday night. Yeah. So I'd like to thank each and every one of my listeners for tuning in. All two of you, outstanding. And if you're new to the show, definitely be sure to like and follow us on our other social media platforms. So let's just dive right into it. The title of this episode is called Banks in Trouble or Massive Deception. Now, I don't know whether or not many people have been following what's been going on in the news of late as far as banks around the world are, let's say, there's some type of fear that the banks might be running out of lots and lots of money. But that may not be entirely true. So we're going to touch on this, just a brief segment of sort of speaks, to try to figure out what the entirety of this whole situation that apparently is transpiring. I don't know whether people have been following it in the news or not, been kind of concerned, but it is by far one of the, I guess, as far as I would say, the elites of the elites, the powerful individuals in office, or those who secretly run the world. Apparently they're making a big stint about this because it pretty much affects them. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. It affects them and their business, so to speak. Maybe entirely, but maybe not always entirely. So, there's an article from the New York Times that goes over in reference to this whole situation and their thoughts about what is happening. There's articles written about it, and I'm going to read you a couple, just this one in general, to maybe kind of get you abreast of the situation that apparently is going on right now. So, this is from the New York Times. Regional banks slammed by fear of a broader financial crisis. The article goes as to say, across the country, banks of various sizes are battling market turmoil as customers rush to withdraw their deposits and investors worry about more bank runs, dump bank stocks. The unexpected seizure of 2 banks in 3 days by regulators intensifies fears of a broader financial crisis, sending the stocks of more than 24 banks into free fall on Monday. Even President Biden reassures Americans that the banking system was resilient and that customers' money was safe. Banks of various sizes in different parts of the country, from San Francisco-based First Republican Bank to Salt Lake City-based Zion Banks, found themselves battling market turmoil as customers rushed to withdraw their banks. I just read that, and they just said it again. Jesus goodness, man. Well, anyway, like I said, apparently there's a financial banking crisis that's so-called going on right now. And let's just say many investors or those who are very, safe haven about their money are rushing to the banks and taking their money out of the banks. And I guess at this point, putting it under the mattresses, doing whatever the hell it is, or investing in fucking Bitcoin. I don't know at this point. But that's what this is pretty much touching on. And it's pretty much talking about. And this is, I would say, putting fear into people, because people start freaking out when they start talking about, oh shit, your money's in the banks and the banks are having a crisis. The first thing to do is to be like, hey, fuck that. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to go get my money and take that shit out. Because if the banks can't protect your money, then what the hell is it? Hell are they there for? Think about it. Back in the old days, before banks were really, really set in stone, people had their money and put it under their mattresses, under their beds, buried out in the field, buried in the dirt, in, coffee cans, then dug it up when they needed something serious that they had to take care of. It wasn't forward until the banks came by and says, you put your money here in our bank, we'll be able to save your bank, be able to, set you up an account, and you'll be able to withdraw the money whenever you want. And when you withdraw your money, that'll be fine. But in a little small proceed, the bank will secretly invest your money in order to make more money, which is the cardinal rule. I mean, they're, safe keeping your money, but in return, they need to make a little more parameters into making money for themselves. So they invest a portion of your money that you put in the bank, and, you get to keep your money, but then there's also regulations and certain things that you need to know about before withdrawing all your money. Now, if you understand any of the jargon that I just talked about, that's just kind of generally where we're at now in today's society, from the olden days to the nowadays. And like I said, this is not anywhere near the crash of the stock market in 1929, I believe. But what it is that there's just there's an issue going on as far as with the bank investors. So big businesses, big companies may seem as though that they're investing possibly into something else, and the banks aren't really having the upbeats as they used to have. Like, for instance, is when the whole big talk of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency came about. Many of the banks had kind of feared that this might be the new way of where people decide to start having their money being invested into something else other than the banking system, which doesn't sit well, doesn't look too good for the banks who make money off people's money being in their banks. As I just stated before, the bank typically, invest their customers, their clients' money at a percentage, at a certain rate. And they make money off that. And as they make more money off that, they do whatever the hell with it is. And it's kind of like they make money off it, and they invested that amount of money into something else, and then keep on investing. The process continues to repeat itself over and over and over. Now, far as you're thinking, like, who's this? Is this affecting, or would it affect the smaller class people? No, it's not. What we're talking about, that it will possibly affect those individuals with a large amount of wealth. Like, for instance, if you're listening to my podcast, I'm probably maybe a 99.9% know that you're not running to the bank. You're not withdrawing all your money, not allocating and put into offshore accounts, to the Cayman Islands, or put in a Swiss bank account, to, get your funds later on as you make a trip over to Sweden, or Switzerland. I think I said, to Sweden, Switzerland, one of the goddamn two. But this is for the rich individuals, the elites, the high class, the high end individuals, the people who are secretly running the world. And their money is so stockpiled, because you got to understand, with a lot of these investors, a lot of these individuals that have tons of wealth. Now, if you know anything different between rich and wealth, you should know that, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm rich," yay, I'm rich, that means you just have a lot of money. Then somebody says, "Oh, I'm," somebody says, "I," or they are wealthy, they're meaning they have tons of money that's being continuously generated. So they're accumulating tons of wealth from whatever the hell is that they're doing. That's not to say, I'm rich, which you just have pretty much a limit, or not a limit, of a certain amount that you would say, hey, I have a lot of money. But when you're talking about individuals who have wealth, they have money that continuously keeps generating for them. It's a difference. So what we're talking about is these individuals who accumulate tons of wealth. And these individuals don't keep their money in one bank account. And they don't have one investor that they work with. These individuals utilize different banks to house and hold their money in, and to invest in certain things, so that way, i.e., they can make more money. That's the whole thing about it. All right. And banks are more than ever willing to have these wealthy individuals invest into their bank or deposit into the bank, because guess what? They make money off them. So it's kind of hand in hand. So you have a wealthy individual who's accumulating so much money into that banking system that the bank's going to make tons of money off them having their money in there. I mean, if you think about it, have you ever noticed that if you have a certain amount of money, or put it this way, if you have a certain amount of money in your bank and then the bank says, hey, you cannot go below this certain amount. We've opened your account with the bank, but you cannot go below this amount, or else there's going to be an issue. Why is that? Because the bank needs a guideline. They need a limit for you to have certain funds in your account, so that way they can make money. And I'm saying it again because I want everyone to understand it's easy as pie. It's very simple. It's not a complex idea. It never is. It's, like I said, a lot of the most complex stats and the ideas are actually the very simplest ones. It's simple. The banks make money off you having money in their bank because they invest it. They take a portion of that and they invest it in something else, which accumulates to make them more money. And obviously, without you not knowing, you're not going to know that they're investing your money, but they're doing it as far as a credit line or whatever. So obviously, the banks, as people say, the banks are the ones that run the world. Typically, they do. I'm not going to contest that. I'm not going to say they don't, because they're the breadwinners. They hold all the keys and assets to a lot of things. So treat your banks nice. But at the same time, this is where some people are very concerned about, as far as where their money is being placed at, where there's money going to. Some people don't want their money invested in certain things, certain stocks, certain investment. But it's what typically has the world running the way it is. There's nothing really you can do about it. If you have a bank account, trust me, it's being invested some way, some shape, or form. Your money is. Now, don't think that, like, you look in your bank account, oh, they took about $50 out of my pay. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not fathom, okay? But what I'm saying is, as an average citizen, your money isn't being allocated in certain avenues. All right. Now, what I'm talking about is the wealthy individuals. They're actually making money to make banks more money because they have accumulated so much wealth and their wealth is continuously keep generating. So as it continues to keep generating, why not go ahead and say, you know what, I'll go ahead and, you know, give money to this, and then in the return, I'll get more money back. But guess what? The banks over here will actually have invested whatever portion, i.e., something, and then they'll make a portion. That's why they like people with wealthy, incomes to go to their bank. That's why wealthy individuals have more than one bank account, and pretty much they have probably more than fucking 5, to be honest with. And that's why we tend to joke on social media or movies, TV shows, where it says, "Oh, you got a Swiss bank account, or you're gonna have a bank account in the Cayman Islands or something like." It's because sometimes those banks, they're not set by certain rules or whatever that here in the United States have, as far as i.e. money wise, or where'd you get the money from? Because they don't ask any questions. They're pretty much just like, come on, just drop the red in here. Aren't you gonna ask me where I got it from? Nope, don't need to. All I know is that you got a lot of money, buddy, and we can help protect that money. And so that's the whole. I don't really like talking about that because sometimes it can piss a lot of people off. But as I stated before, in a lot of things, the world is run on money. The world is fueled on money. Anything and everything has a narrative and an agenda to go back to what? The almighty dollar. So when you see an article like this or you hear something like this, it's not typically affecting the regular average Joe citizen. It's not. It's affecting those elites of the elites, those wealthy individuals. And those wealthy individuals aren't thinking of the lines of, oh shit, my millions and billions and zillions of dollars are being misplaced. No, what is happening is that they're seeing an issue as far as, wait a minute, there might be a better avenue somewhere else because maybe this banking system isn't holding up to what I originally had thought. Or there might be a new line where I could actually take my money and go somewhere else with it. So, i.e., these individuals will withdraw their money and then go and allocate it into somewhere else, another banking system. They're not going to be running out of there with bag in hand with their wealth running in. That's not really feasible. That's not typical because banks are not going to house that amount of money of each and every person with wealth in a certain bank. It's not typical. That'd just be absurd and fucking crazy. But that's what typically these articles are referring to. But they're not, like I said, they're not referring to the average citizen. All right, average citizen doesn't really have anything to worry about it. I mean, when people will say, "Oh, the banks are going to take our money, it's going to collapse." No, it's not. It's not entirety. And don't remotely try to think it's, oh, how do you know, and this and that. Well, I mean, situations like this comes upon. I mean, look at the logical aspect of this. All right. With anything here, there's always, majority of time, it will not affect the average citizen. And I am going to stress that more than anything because in my podcast, I talk about a lot of things are fueled, a lot of agendas are fueled, and I say it over and again, is because it is fueled under one thing: money, 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 money. It is. The whole thing is. I mean, think about how many times some shit happens or something goes wrong and it's in a very prominent area of society. People are up in arms about it. Kumbaya, handshaking, saying, we got to do this. We got to stop the injustice. We can't let this happen. But if it happens in an area or in a certain region where many people don't really give a rat's ass, no one gives a shit. No one's going to hold hands. No one's singing a kumbaya. No one's saying, we need to do this, that. You know why? Because it's just not wanted. But in other aspects, with people with wealth, happens to them, something must be done about it. You think I'm lying? Trust me, I'm not. As I said, you listen here on the Coolly Cool show. I'm going to tell you pretty much to have an open mind and to have common sense and to have, just a common thought process about how a lot of stuff. Though many people make it very, very complex, it's not. It's actually very, very simple. The most simple is designed to fool and trick people is actually the most easiest way to do it. As I said on other podcasts, think about it. It's like a magician. If he wants to fool you, he could have a whole bunch of people standing in front of him, and all they would have to do is a certain sleight of hand and a lot of hand manipulation to get your attention and your whole direction going one way. While they're doing the trick in front of you, they are just doing a sleight of hand. You don't pick up on it because guess what? They're so smooth at what they do that they can fool a whole room full of people, and people wouldn't have the difference or know how it happened. And it's the same way it applies to other aspects outside. It happens daily, okay? So, I thought I just wanted to touch a little bit on that situation. Like I said, if you plan on going to the bank and you want to withdraw your money and put it on your mattress and, sit out with your rocking chair and be like, there ain't nobody getting this, I'll tell you that now, that day, the boy to come up, it's, you go ahead if you want. Yeah. At this point in time, the way a lot of the world's banking system is going on, people are trying to make money on every single thing. It's beyond crazy. You have scammers calling people's phones and stuff saying your car is extended warranty, and at this point in time, I think they've pretty much just kind of given up that little routine a little bit, but they might still try to say, well, your car is extended warranty, and they might get somebody. I don't know, but it's like I said, it's everything deals with money. President Biden, I would say that's probably one of the most important things he's actually had to state and tell people, because typically, like I said, when you hear something about money, a lot of people will have a panic fear and they will be like, oh, fuck that, and they will immediately go into it because they don't want to lose what they have. Because even though, I would put it this way, if there was the end of the world situation where we went to like Mad Max time and shit was down, do you actually, for one, think that your dollar bill makes any difference to anybody? And be like, well, I got $500. I'll give you $500 for this. No one gives a shit at the end of the world where money has and doesn't hold any value to it. The reason why, because now it comes down to your skill. What do you have as far as like food wise, shelter, clothing, things like that? Money doesn't serve a purpose, because what are you going to use for money in an end of the world apocalypse? It's nothing. It's not. It doesn't hold any value. It's just paper with some writing on it and the numbers. That's it. That's it. The value of money depletes itself. That's what I have talked about before. I said gold. Like, people are up in arms about, oh, God got gold, this, go, that. Yeah, look at the gold. What? People are losing their minds over fucking a shiny fucking rock. And then they mold it all the way down into a shiny thing. And guess what? They have this rock or brick, carat gold, and they molded it down to a size where it's like you can wear a chain or around a diamond ring, right? And it's have it that size or whatever, and that's not even the original shape and size, and it was probably maybe about 1% of what it was originally of original gold brick, if it was. See what I'm saying? So people's like, oh, look at this, I got my gold chain, I got my diamond ring. And that's not even the entirety. I mean, think about it. Ladies, if you look at your diamond ring, if you have a diamond ring, you look at the diamond rings in the store, the diamond rings are all put in a little nice, cool little design, whatever. But that's not even nearly what the original diamond itself looked like, right? They should, because think about it, they shaved down the freaking diamond to make it into a pattern, you know? They shave it down. I don't know many people have ever seen the Hope Diamond in actually a museum before. The Hope Diamond is actually a pretty big ass diamond. I mean, it's the biggest diamond ring around, and it's huge if you ever see it in person. You know, and that comes from a real diamond. Now, imagine that's not of its entirety of when they first found it, first discovered it. It's not in the size. That's not the original size. It was actually much bigger, I believe. I'm gonna just make sure of this because I'm pretty sure that it was a lot larger in size, and I believe so. Let's see, the Hope Diamond. Let's see. All right. Let's see. History of the Hope Diamond. The Smithsonian. Yes. The Hope Diamond is a 45.52 carat diamond originally extracted in the 17th century from the something mine in India. It is blue in color due to the trace of amount of brown. It is exceptional size, has revealed new information about the formation of diamonds. So, like I said, this diamond is weight at 45.55. Well, that's what it says here, but it says the Hope Diamond after being shaved. Well, I'm assuming after being shaved down to some sort. It's roughly about 45.55 weight carat. And like I said, that's not the original size of it. It's not. Because obviously it was made to impress for to wear it. I don't remember who wore it. Let's see. I mean, let's see. Okay, I'm doing some research because reading is good, ladies and gentlemen. All right. It said a tavernier sold the diamond to King Louis the 14th of France in 1668 with 14 other large diamonds and several small ones. In 1673, the diamond was recut. So, like I said, not the entirety size of the diamond itself. He said the stone was recut by whatever the name is, the court jeweler. Looks like the court jeweler, resulting in a 67 1/8 carat stone. In the royal inventors, its color was described as intense steel blue, and the stone became known as the Blue Diamond of the Crown, or the French Blue. It was set in gold and suspended on the neck ribbon, which the king wore on ceremonial occasions. Louis the 15th in 1749 had the stone resized. But you're getting my drift, right? It's supposed to be so awesome, but apparently the Hope Diamond was actually cut several times. You see what I'm saying? So that's not the entirety size of what it actually was. But once again, we like to place value in a lot of things because it looks shiny, looks good, and people says, I want that because you have that. So that's the whole entirety of it. It's what you got. I want what you have because I don't want you having what you got. So take it for what it is. I mean, like I said, my podcast, I'm just going to go on the level of common sense and just talk about shit that it's general common sense, really. But people make shit to be so damn out there in the field. It's fucking, just goddamn. So, enough of the money talk. But, before I leave out on that note, you know what I got to play. You know. I'm gonna say it right now. You know what I got to play when we talking about this, right? You know.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, 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 ching, ching, bling, bling.
Ching ching gong bling bling. Yep. So that's pretty much the money talk. So now in other talks, we're gonna go back to my old favorites. We're gonna talk about some goddamn aliens. That's what the fuck we're gonna talk about. That's what we're gonna talk, because I saw something in the news that just there's some other bullshit going on. I'm telling you, there's some just some nonsense creeping up on us, ladies and gentlemen. But trust me, I'm trying not to be deceived, because they try so hard, and we don't need to be deceived. I know I saw something really ridiculous. I'm not even joking. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, like I said, this kind of goes in relation to as far as the whole money aspect. Here we go. Let's get it started, baby. So, this right here says U.S. Space Force budget hits $30 billion in 2024 proposal. So, this is just one thing right here, right? And there's another article that says NASA planning to spend up to $1 billion on the space station deorbit module. So let me just go back to what I was saying is about the money part about banks. If we're hurting for money, or the banks are hurting for money, then where the fuck are we getting all this fucking money to invest in the fucking space program? All right. To allocate the resources and funds being misappropriated to go to certain agendas, certain things that need to be funded. All right. Supposed to have a banking crisis, but yet Space Force apparently has proposed a budget with $30 billion. So coming up for 2024. And then NASA planning to spend up to $1 billion on the space station deorbit module. So it doesn't look like we're hurting for money that much, are we? Or it doesn't look like the banks would be hurting for money either. But, hey, just pointing out the obviousness to a lot of the shit that's out there that people tend to just, hey, what is it? Oh, and matter of fact, here is another article here that I just came across. This is coming from Space News, ladies and gentlemen. White House proposes $27.2 billion for NASA in 2024. Yeah, man, wow. I guess that loan's going to be coming out pretty soon. And I wonder who's going to pay for it. The taxpayers, the Americans, the people here. Yeah, goddamn. It's a lot of money. Didn't know my tax dollars are going to that. Well, whatever they plan on doing, I hope it's for the better good of mankind. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. There's no way they could be corrupt. No way they could be using it for something else, right? Really? Okay. I'm not supposed to know, but okay. I'll just keep my mouth shut. No worries. You got it. Got you, buddy. It's all good. You know? What the fuck ever? Like, it's fucking seriously. Like, I'm telling you. This is free knowledge. This is information. This is shit that's out there. You guys can look this up yourselves. You can see it and just put the pieces together, and you'll see that there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff that, hey, is, like I said, the United States, we're a business, and we're the best business to do business, and all the countries around the world know this. I mean, it is what it is. All right. I mean, I'm gonna, let's see. I think we have 5 minutes left, and I'm gonna try to look this clip up here. And oh man, it's one of the clips from the movie Casino, and he talks about money. Oh man, I don't want to go. I can't. But if you see the movie Casino, it's actually a really good movie. I love it. It's one of my favorite gangster movies. It's just crazy that, those guys back in the day, some of those gangster films, those guys are now, older now, and it's just just daunting because when I watching those movies, I was a kid at that time, and I loved those movies. Those movies are awesome, they're classics. So here's a little clip for you.
Want something to drink? Charlie, you want a refill?
Yeah, refill be great.
I don't know. Hey, Mr. Clark, how you doing?
Good.
I've been trying to reach you. You're tougher to get than the president.
Well, I've been busy.
Yeah, at least you could do is return my phone calls, though.
Listen, Nicky, we talked about this, and I explained to you that there was the possibility you might have to take some kind of loss.
Yeah. I think I want my money back.
What are you going to do, strong-arm me?
I think that you got the wrong impression about me. I think in all fairness, I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do. For instance, tomorrow morning I'll get up nice and early, take a walk down over to the bank, and walk in and see you, and if you don't have my money for me, I'll crack your fucking head wide open in front of everybody in the bank. And just about the time that I'm coming out of jail, hopefully, you'll be coming out of your coma. And guess what? I'll split your fucking head open again. Because I'm fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck about jail. That's my business. That's what I do. And we know what you do, don't we, Charlie? You fuck people out of money and get away with it.
You can't talk to me.
Hey, you fat Irish prick, you put my fucking money to sleep. You go get my money or I'll put your fucking brain to sleep.
Sam.
Never mind, fucking Sam, this is personal. I'll be there in the morning. You can fucking try me, fatso. You fucking try me.
I love it. Like I said, this clip of the movie from Casino. Joe Pesci, awesome. Legends of acting, awesome. But that's the truth. That is the truth. Pretty much, he was pretty much talking with a guy from the bank. He invested his money, took a portion of his money. Like I said, people with wealth invested their money, took it in, and then at a point in time, the money got dried up or got somewhere lost in translation. And what did the wealthy do? Says, you know what? I want my fucking money back. Fuck that. But at the time, the bank was like, well, sorry, you had to take a loss for it. And he's like, oh, really? Fuck that shit. So, this is what I was talking about. My thing. So, yeah. That'd be nice to play that little clip for each and every one of you. Oh, two of my great listeners. So, man, the music, that means we've came to another concluding factor on another wonderful episode here, live on the Coolest of Cool, the Coolly Cool Show here on this Tuesday night. Taco Tuesday, baby! So, if you haven't done so already, be sure to follow and like us on our other social media platforms. You can follow me on my YouTube channel and TikTok channel, both labeled the Coolly Cool Show. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Brent_the_champ. You can also follow me on my Twitter account at CoollyCool2412. And if you missed any episodes, you missed this episode, and you want to hear it back again, you can go to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Spreaker.com. So, hey, I mean, like I said, we rocking from coast to coast, north to south, and yes, maybe even Antarctica. And if you're in Antarctica, where's my fucking money? So, you're to hear live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Coolly Cool Show, with your host, Brent. Take care. Bye.